Hello and welcome to this episode of Project Eden, where I try to build a self-sustaining base. I've been doing quite a lot of work since the last episode. I've gotten the temperature up to decent levels over most of the base, except for up here, where I actually haven't really walled off properly yet, right? But that's not what I'm going to talk about this episode, right? It's rather that I finish kind of the heart of the base, what's gonna power the base, but also provide clean oxygen and clean water. Making the water is going to be pretty much solve most of the problems for me if it works, right? The problem is most of these machines are interlinked, so it's kind of one big machine because they're in a lot of ways codependent. I plan to go in and show every machinery in detail and how they work together, but first I actually think I'm going to try to turn them on. When I did the hydrogen bubble, the first iteration of it, it failed, and I didn't record when it failed. So I kind of thought it would be interesting to record it when I start it up. And I'm kind of nervous since I have no idea if it actually will work as I intended to. A lot of just educated guesswork. But if it fails, that might, turn out interesting as well. So let's see. I got a load of optimization, like some of these are just placeholder. It has to do with me heating up the base, right? But a lot of it actually had to do with the machinery, like all of this and all of this, for example, right? This hasn't. So let's start by turning the hydrogen bubble on. That's the only part of this machinery I'm actually certain will work properly from the get-go, right? Because I play tested it before. So the thing is, I plan to use the cold generated from the cold oxygen to kind of cool down my other machines, and also like preventing it to get from hold by using the heat from other machines, right? So hopefully we have a little duplicate. Turning this one on, is it on yet? Yeah, okay, so it started working. This will take a while to get up to speed and actually produce some gas. So let's move over to the other systems. Next thing to turn on is this beauty, right? The one that I'm not actually certain will work yet. So I'm gonna close the door because it's gonna be really... Oh, it's still some sand in here, right? They need to clean. So let's set a high priority on that one. Alright, so I haven't even tuned the optimization here, just prepared everything. So this thing here is what's turning off and on the power to this one. The reason I didn't connect the optimization wire immediately to this one is I'm afraid it's going to burn off, right? So rather I'm just cutting the power, right? So it's turning off and on. So this one is regulating how long it's off, and this one how long it's on, right? So we're going to start with this buffer gate, and I'm going to start it up very slow because I'm afraid I will actually get too hot in here otherwise. So I'm going to set it to like 20-second down time and yes, like 4 seconds uptime, right? So that will kind of nerf it quite a bit. I will like push it up slowly afterwards. And the second thing we need to do is also regulate the liquid so that it actually starts flowing. So let's put this one, we're gonna put this one off and start by actually pumping oil there, right? So I have the oil pump here, and the optimization grid for that one looks like this. I just have a little switch for it. So let's turn this one on. Can I click this one? Sometimes these are really hard to click when there's a lot of things around them, right? So we're gonna turn the pump on and just pump the oil up here to have the machine prepped, right? And hopefully to get rid of the sand here while we do that, right? Later on I'm gonna add some exosuit docks here so they can only access here with the exosuits on, right? But I haven't really gotten to it yet, so... Right, let's actually lock this one now. Alright, so... Where were we? Yeah. The oil, have they started with that one yet? Yeah, the oil pump is on. Oh yeah, it's actually connected to the same electrical grid as the rest here, so actually I have to turn on electricity. And that I do with this optimization goes to the main electricity. And let's see if we can get the electricity on. So I have to excuse if it's some waiting here, but that's because I haven't prepared anything for this. I'm just hoping for the best, right? So let's see. So this machine should actually be powering on now. Yep, we're getting kind of high degrees here. How are we on oil? The oil is coming through here, right? So we're gonna start by letting like maybe 400 or 300 to go through. So I don't want this to get too hot, right? Right, so far decent temperatures. I actually think I might actually nerf it down even further, just for now. So let's put the downtime to like 25 seconds. I'm really afraid like that it will go too hot before I actually get the oil there to cool it down, right? So let's see how we're doing on the oil. Yeah. Alright, so we have to get a duplicant there to open it. Hopefully they will arrive soon. So pretty much while they're doing that, what's gonna happen here is pretty much the oil is gonna pass through here, like, and get boiled over here, right? Okay, I should probably have had that open to begin with, right? So actually, let's, until that actually opens, I have a cat arriving in my lap as well. Let's put this up to like 50 seconds. Because that is kind of instant nerf, right? Alright, they're really slow too. They're not really prioritizing this. I actually don't know why. Why are they not prioritizing that? Alright. Could it be some other reason? Is this one shut off maybe? Yeah, maybe it is. Alright. Maybe they already did it and I'm just being stupid, so let's see. Yeah, it was me being stupid. So much for wasting your guys' time. And that's when you add too much optimization, sometimes you forget something, right? So we found the error anyway. Alright. Now it should be quick. As soon as I discovered it, it was actually me being stupid, alright. Alright, so there we go, and it's 300 grams of mod. So they actually haven't really changed this one yet, right? So now we can check the temperature down here. And it's not hot enough, so... And of course not, because we nerfed this one down to prevent overheating, right? So let's put it back to like 25 seconds, something like that. Now, I kind of, my idea here was that it would be interesting to see everything turned off, but maybe it was actually an opposite idea, right? So while this is happening, we need to turn another system on. So this one is going from... It's going down to 500 and up to about, I think, 1000 degrees. So that should be alright. Alright. For now. So what I want is I need to cool this area down as well once the gas is starting to be produced, right? So we're gonna turn another system on for that. But let's see here. Alright. I don't know if this might not be hot enough yet to actually... Yeah, alright. Seems to do alright. Okay, so it's a little bit much oil compared to the output here. So let's take this one down to maybe 15 seconds and see what happens, right? We also need, since I haven't put the slicksters here yet, we actually need some oil to move through as well. So I'm putting through 300 grams per second here. So we're gonna put through 300 grams per second here as well. I'm just pumping up oil from another place for now, right? But it's just pretty much placeholder, right? So let's see, yeah, we're getting this. Also, once this starts to heat up, this oil gonna be preheated as well. So which means this machine is gonna be more efficient once it's like kind of up to speed, right? All right, 600 degrees there. So it's actually looking kind of good. And the degrees here are like kind of low. Alright. I'm gonna keep track on this a little while more because I'm actually... I don't really want to leave it alone and have it overheat, right? So it goes up to 1300, then it cools down to about 700. Alright. It kind of seems like it's doing alright. Hello and welcome back, and there might be some background noise because there is a TV on in the background, right? But I probably gonna have to do small recordings and edit them together because there's small bits and pieces where I have to turn on different subsystems, but then it's a wait in between them. So right now this one is going, this one is moving a little bit slower than in my old machine down in my main base, right? I think it mainly has to do with there being a lot of oxygen left here. You see, like oxygen, I got 4K was a lot more, right? So I probably should have emptied out the system to create a vacuum before I started the machine up. It also might be that this loop here for the natural gas is a bit different than my or the original design I used here. That was pretty much a copy paste of something I saw in a forum, right? Apart from the automation down here. Now, it doesn't really matter as long as the natural gas actually gets flow through. It doesn't matter if it's more like packed, like here 30 kilos, right? It might be the oxygen that kind of, you know, stopping it up a bit, but or and move slower, or is a little like not as tightly packed gas moving faster. I mean, slow gas, but very high density will have long time to cool, but it will be more gas to cool in the pipe, right? And fast moving, not as dense gas will move faster, so that will have less time to cool, but it's less gas to cool as well, right? So I will just see how this develops. In worst case scenario, I will have to empty out some, like vent some of the gas in here to take down density, and in even worse scenario, I might have to remodel the loop here if the loop is part of the problem, right? Now, however, I have to start a subsystem now because the oil here is starting to become too high temperature, and the way I'm gonna cool it is, first of all, like, well, once the slicksters are here, it's gonna be pumped in colder carbon dioxide, but that's not happening yet because these ones haven't started up yet, right? So, and also like they will convert it to oil that will be cool as well. So, but part of it will also be, I don't think that is enough, at least from my machine I have going in my main base, right? So what I will do is also loop some oil through here that will be cooled down by this system. This one is getting up to speed, so we got like minus 69 degrees here, right? But it's gonna leak out here because all the cold oxygen is gonna be pumped out here, right? And then you're just gonna circulate it through here, right? And I'm gonna circulate it through here as well. So let's turn the system on. It's automated for this one, so let's switch that one on. And that should do the trick, I think. Let's see. Turning from night to day. I have a bit of lag when it turns from night to day. It's not a big problem. Alright. So let's see if they have it started. There they go, right? So we got this one pumping through. And it will go all the way here and around here. I should also, right now, I should also remove these two. These two was just to prevent too much coal leakage. Once this is up to speed and everything is set, I will actually close this in, but right now I don't know if I'm gonna change something of this. It might actually cool down the liquid too much. I might actually have to diminish this loop a bit. So I'll leave this door for here now, despite having a bit of coal leaking out, right? But at a later date I will actually close this in with absolute, so I can kind of control how much of the coal is going out, right? So let's see here. This one is coming through here. I also have it set to be able to go up and cool other system, like in this case the water, right? So what I do is I have those two different liquid shutdowns connected to thermosensor, right? And right now I put it like I should actually not go up there, so let's do it like this, just to kind of make it not, I don't really need to cool down this area right now, so I don't really care about this area right now, right? So let's see. And we have the oil flowing through here. You can see it going in at like 10 degrees and it's already down to like -1 here. So it's definitely gonna cool this one down. Now I will make a break in the video now and edit it together with a later part a bit further down the line. Alright, cheers. Hello. I had to actually I went ahead and emptied out this part, so I made a little cut here in the video and actually some playtime in between, right? So because what happened here was, let's see, this area there was quite a lot of oxygen that kind of blocked up the natural gas. It probably would eventually have cleaned up, but I really didn't want to wait that long, right? So and I also kind of removed this wall section here just to kind of speed the process up again. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put this one back, and I'm also gonna turn this machine on the way on again. So we're gonna turn on here, I think. Alright. We should be ready to go. Let's see, automation. Yeah, it's the main one, right? So that one's gonna be turned on, and hopefully they'll finish up this one. In the meantime though, this one has actually gotten... Why is it lagging so much? There we go. Alright, this one has actually gotten up to speed and is now cleaning out a lot of the oxygen here. I don't really know what how much oxygen do we have in here? Wait a little, alright? So let's see, we can actually make it pump in more oxygen. What did I set this one to? So, alright. This was actually blocking it, but... Alright, there we go, now it should start. Alright, there we go. Alright, so let's see if they actually started with this one now. This one is going. Is the oil coming through though? Oh, I forgot the oil. Alright, so 400. Is this getting too hot already? Maybe not. And we also have, since I don't have the slicks just yet, the oil in here, right? So will they do it fast enough, or do I have to tune this one down? I think it's gonna be alright. I'm not certain though. Come on, come on, come on. I always like forget to open this one up fast enough. Let's see. Alright. There we go. Now it's coming here. I don't think this will like go to a high temperature before it well actually gets there. Right, and this one is going, so we actually seem that all the systems are ready. I'm gonna see if it actually helped it a bit here that I removed all the oxygen. I had like 7,000 or 8,000 pressure here, so 7 or 8 kilograms of pressure here, with patches of oxygen. I think that was blocking the flow. I'm not certain. Another thing I'm interested in is the temperature of the oil. The temperature is actually getting quite hot despite me pumping some cooler oil through here. Let's see if this cooling system is enough. It's actually going to be better once I get the slicks this here, but for now I really hope this will do, right? So the oxygen, the oil is coming in here at 17 degrees, 30, so that's 5 degrees. So this one is actually heating the oil up more than this one is cooling at the moment though, because this is cooled down by the gas that's pumped out. Unfortunately, pumping out 500 grams of oxygen here at minus 147. That's actually not as much as I planned to, because I mean there's only going to be 3 dupes living here, so long term I'm probably just going to pump 300 grams through, I guess. Yeah, so let's do like this, because more than that is actually not sustainable over the long term, right? So I think that's gonna be it. Well, actually, let's run through more, because that's gonna be a good way to actually test the system, right? For now, we'll have to kind of eventually nerf that down a bit. All right, so this is producing natural gas, and I think it's actually moving through a lot better than it did before, right? So that's and these ones gonna pick up speed. So what I'm gonna keep a really good eye on here is the oil here, so it doesn't really run away in temperature. So this one is around the liquid temperature is around 62 degrees here, so that's what it's gonna pan out to, minus the cooling I can provide from this, right? But if it starts going higher than that, I need to keep a check on it. Alright, I think that's actually all for now. When we get back, I hopefully got the slicks just going, because I'm gonna start bringing them up soon as this natural gas starting to fill up here, so the power plants are going, right? And also like get the boiling going here. Alright, cheers. Okay, so everything is actually up and running right now. I got the oil flow through here at about 500 grams per second. My power plants have started to go, so I can probably at some point cut the electricity wire to my main base here, so I'm at least self-sufficient on energy. and pressure is starting to build up here. I still think I can pressure this one up a bit more. Ideally, I kind of want this a lot higher because, more importantly than power, I'm probably going to have an excess of power, which doesn't really bother me because excess power is the only thing you can like run a huge amount of excess and still it doesn't really matter. It's just wasted. There's no consequence, right? But they produce water, right? Polluted water, and that's what I also want out of them. So the more power plants I can feed here, the more polluted water I can make, right? And more polluted water means more clean water, right? So that's good. So I'm trying to optimize it. So I'm slowly like raising both the temperature or how often this one goes on and off, right? Because it's still kind of nerfed down quite a lot, and also how much I pump through, right? Up here I run into a problem where it wasn't really far from optimized. I really overestimated how much cooling I needed for the steam. So I had both my cold oxygen here, that the oxygen I'm producing over here at the hydrogen bubbler, routed through here, plus the oil here was routed several layers up here, right? And that actually resulted in two cold temperatures here, which kind of harmed how much polluted water I could steam over here, right? So what I've done is cutting away a lot of the cooling loop up here. I might have to cut away even more and even just make this one like one line through, right? Or even less, like just routed through up here or something like that, right? So, but I'll let it run with this really minimalistic cooling route for a little while and see what the temperatures pan out as, right? Because if I can't really pressure this one up higher than now, like it's only pushing through like 300 grams, then I really need another way to boil water, because this won't really be taking care of all the water and polluted water I can generate, right? Also, I seem to be making a little bit too little polluted oxygen. It's really hard to actually count how many mobs you have when you have this many, right? I tried to count them. I need 20, but I'd rather have a little bit more than that. And I thought I had more. Maybe I have less, right? Because well, it's actually starting to flow through, but I get like sometimes, right, like now for example, I'm about to run out like of polluted oxygen, so I might have to add a few more morbs. I'm also planted mealwood down here, so my idea is I will lock this one down later on, and this will because they can't really use the mealwood, it will rot and turn to polluted dirt that later turn to polluted oxygen, right? So that's an extra source of polluted oxygen, right? I don't need that much for the duplicants to breathe, but I can turn the rest with the puffs that I'm gonna try to get in here once this part is ready to slime. Slime I can make more water of, or I can use it to a mushroom farm if they will like get something nicer to eat, right? But this machine actually works now, even though I have to kind of crank up how much it puts through in different parts, right? So energy should be solved. Water should be solved, even if I don't have that much water. I still have clean water coming through, so I got like about 47 grams of water here, but I mean, since I'm pushing through like 300 grams, that should be the average that's coming out here, right? So I have water, I have energy, I have clean air, right? So that's kind of the basis. So I'm starting to become really confident this will work. So I actually added another challenge for myself, and that's to make the whole thing completely automated. And that's not as big of a challenge as you might think, because the big base I have running down here, like my original base, is to 99.5% or so fully automated. So I only check in on it once in a while to see everything's working, right? Then I sometimes run a little excess polluted water down here, but it's pretty much just because I've been lazy, because I could just put an automation that sends a bit of excess polluted water to some extra timber reeds or something like that, right? So that's really easy to solve. Also, I'm running a bit short on food sometimes. I actually have to turn on the micro musher, and that's also just laziness, because I could just have solved that with some mealwood or whatever, right? So, but it's to 99.5% automated, right? So I'm fairly confident I will be able to do this, right? So at the end, I will be able to do like, I don't know, 100 cycle test run with completely hands off, right? Alright, I think that's it for this episode. This is up and running, and I'm just gonna try to tune everything and see how high I can crank up the different parts of it, the system. Cheers!